We're gonna play interview where you're gonna ask me a question and I'm gonna respond to your question.
All right, so what's the show about?
Say it one more time. Say it again.
So what's the show about?
This is a good question, sir. Bake, the show that I get baked and also bake for you guys at home. Today's episode's gonna be no weed cookies. This is for somebody who wants to look cool in front of their friends, maybe their coworkers. Maybe you have somebody named Karen in accounting that you wanna make weed cookies for. I don't know. They don't have any weed. They're not gonna get you high. So if you don't like to get high, just like I hate edibles because I puke my brains out every single time I eat an edible. And it's never an enjoyable experience, but I do like to get high and I also like to eat cookies. So I might as well combine those two things into one where I get baked, I bake some cookies, I eat them, and then I'm a happy camper for the rest of the day. Today's recipe, sugar cookies, easy. Your high ass can make this. If you're sober, you should probably be able to make this. I'm gonna make half what the recipe calls for because I don't need to eat like 100 sugar cookies. I only need 50, all for myself. The recipe calls for some butter, an egg, some sugar and salt. That's cornstarch. I got flour. We're gonna put this all in this mixer. We're gonna make some fucking cookies, okay? First stop, we're not driving. The first step is we mix the butter. It has to be cold. This is a stick. I believe this is a nice half cup of sugar. Dump that in. This is where it gets kind of messy. Let's get to mixing. Your butter's gonna get stuck because that's what it does. No, that's even worse. Oh, maybe it's not. And you grab your nice spatula and we have to make sure that eventually it will break up. But that's because it's got to get worked a little bit more. Well, I need a snap. Now that the butter is starting to get more of a creamy texture, time to add the dry stuff. A tablespoon of salt, put that in. Next step, 2 cups all-purpose flour. You can use whatever brand you like. Grab another one, make sure it has some nice air. Has enough flour in it, you don't want to shorten it. And the important part is, if you don't want this flour exploding all over you, you should probably start folding this in just to kind of mix it. If I wasn't so high right now, I probably wouldn't have dumped both cups inside. So rethinking it 2 seconds later, realize it's not a good idea. Just to get it a little bit moist is our nice little egg. Make sure to wash your eggs so you don't get salmonella. Okay, no shells. That's the first. Splash of vanilla. Once in a while, your dough doesn't want to stick together. So sometimes you just gotta literally get in there and mix it yourself. And then you'll be left with a nice ball of dough. Just like this. And this will be your nice cookie. My favorite thing to do, the dishes. Yay. So while I'm doing the dishes, I don't know about you, like if you are a smoker, can you tell me, do you have the same issues that I have, which is I can't feel my hands for the life of me when I smoke. They go numb every single time. I went to the doctor, he was like, it's one of the symptoms, the many symptoms of smoking marijuana. I just said, well, like, all right, fuck it, I guess I won't have hands for couple hours or whatever. What I usually make when I'm stoned, I'm either craving something very savory or very sweet. Nothing in between. 95% of the time it's gonna be sugary because I have a terrible sweet tooth. I think after every meal, I need to have something sugary to wash it down with. And I don't mean necessarily a soda, but I need to eat like a Twix, which is in the vending machine upstairs at my job, and I swear I eat one once a day, which is terrible. I love food. Dough has been inside the fridge for about half an hour now. It's enough time for it to get firm, especially if you got a cold fridge, or you could even toss it in the freezer. I haven't done that. It's dough, it's doughy. I don't know what to do with this. I want to just like throw it. I have to let it sit for like 30 minutes. So I don't make a mess on this kitchen counter that is not mine. I I'm gonna roll out some parchment paper. Where the fuck? I don't have parchment paper. I don't know where it went. I'm just gonna pretend like I didn't ever say that I was gonna have parchment paper. Dough's out the fridge. Rip it in half. Just makes it easier. You get your nice rolling pin. Start rolling. You want the dough right around 1/4 inch of thickness. So we have our nice little wheat cookie cutters. I'm gonna wiggle it. Those are too big, so I'm just gonna make more small ones.
Why don't you want them too big?
There's no science behind it. The cookie dough is just not big enough right now. Cookies have been cut, are ready to go into the oven, which has been preheating for like almost an hour now. It's at 375. We put it in. 9 minutes later, you get really nice sugar cookies. I took these out like 10 minutes ago, so they're cooled, but not cooled enough. So be careful not to burn yourself when you remove the cookies. Unlike you, I'm a pro. Just kidding, I'm probably gonna burn myself for talking shit. Let these cookies sit until they're completely cooled. It'll probably take another like 15 minutes. To decorate them, I'm doing something a little different. Usually people with sugar cookies enjoy royal icing, which is that crispy, crunchy icing that looks really pretty. But I'll be honest, I didn't want to make it. I'm gonna use fondant, which is that like marshmallow based Play-Doh looking thing, which is totally cool because you could actually eat this and it kind of tastes like something sugary, which is better than eating Play-Doh. And just use those same cookie cutters and cut out the fondant that will perfectly match on top. And taking it out of this pre-made bucket because it takes forever to make. And you know, like I'm high. Why would I want to waste even more time? If I'm baking cookies, I got the munchies, which is why I had pizza 5 minutes into making cookies. You know, you have the munchies, you want to have something that's fairly quick and ready. You just kind of have to heat it up a little bit in your hands. But the weird part is getting it out of this bucket. Brings back fond memories of me and playing with Play-Doh. We'll just flatten it out. My hands don't work. They never do. So it's become an obvious struggle that I'm struggling rolling fondant out. Another reason why I wanted to choose fondant is because of how bright it is. I mean, look how really green these are. Kind of hard to get that actual like pigment. But this is so much better than me messing up food coloring. Usually fondant, when you're making it for cake, you use like a frosting as the base, so then it actually, oh Jesus Christ. So then it actually sticks. I don't have frosting, nor do I really want to use frosting. So powdered sugar and a little bit of water, and I need to get, I'm gonna use this chopstick because it's easy to use to mix. So you just want the consistency. You don't want it to be too runny. So this is kind of too runny. I have to add. I will just eyeball how much. Oh, and there we go. That's fine. Just a little bit. That way it doesn't get too runny. And the way I'm gonna make this spread is literally with my fingers. So nice, be gentle, and before you like pat it down, make sure that it's even. I fucked this one up. It's like all off edge and I don't wanna pull it off because I already tried. So I'm just gonna smush it until it looks kinda even. I'm gonna eat it anyways, whatever. Fine. Okay, this is a good looking cookie. I'm actually impressed with this. I wasn't expecting it to be this good, but it is. I got these candied eyeballs and they're really cute. Sorry, he looks really cute. Then I'm gonna draw a little happy face on him because he's a happy guy. Look how cute he is. There's too much going on. My hands still do not work. I'm probably like 2.5 hours into being high and I'm still, my hands are just numb. So on these, I like the small ones, but they don't deserve eyeballs because they're not as special as the big one. I'm gonna try my best to do little X's. This just need kind of like a steady hand. All right, donezo. This is our finished product. Look how good you did. These cookies look great. I mean, this guy, he looks just as happy as I'm about to be. Look at him and look at me. I'm ready to enjoy the rest of this cookie. Look at this guy. He's still happy even though he's missing one part of his leaf. They're good. I'm gonna finish off these cookies. Thank you for watching. Stay high. If you don't smoke, don't try it. Don't feel the pressure. Be a good functioning person, as my mom would say. And you guys have a good rest of your day.